Who among us doesn't want to love their life? But is it really that easy? Life isn't always like an exciting journey where everything goes smoothly. It's more like a flowing river, sometimes calm and serene, but other times turbulent and fierce. No matter how much you try to arrange everything perfectly, there will still be moments when you feel stuck, as if life has come to a halt, or worse, turned into a mirror reflecting your unhappiness. These feelings don't discriminate. You could be a young student full of dreams, a busy office worker, a successful professional, or even a proud mother. At any stage of life, we all face these ups and downs. But remember, life doesn't stop. More importantly, you can absolutely fall in love with your life again. By shifting your mindset and approach, you can return to a state where every day feels valuable and meaningful. Get ready to explore the path of Stoicism with me, a path where you'll rediscover a deep, unwavering love for life. Leave a comment, "I love my life," and start now. Number 1. The answer to a better life. Life sometimes does not bring the satisfaction we expect. We often believe that major milestones such as education, marriage, having children, or starting a business will elevate our lives to a new level. However, in reality, those who take these steps sometimes feel stifled, exhausted, and distant from their initial happiness. What went wrong? The way we approach and organize life holds the key to the answer. Many people create numerous arrangements they cannot handle or that are even unnecessary. This makes life chaotic, like a house filled with unused items that are neither used nor discarded. For instance, a person passionate about learning may enroll in too many courses without having enough time to keep up. The result is pressure, self-blame, and the loss of the original joy of learning. Philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." While we cannot control external circumstances, we can master how we arrange and face them. This requires mindfulness, simplification, and focusing on what truly matters. Imagine yourself as a spider spinning its web. A clever spider knows how to weave a web strong enough to catch prey, but also open enough not to entrap itself. Conversely, if you spin a web carelessly, that same web can become a prison, leaving you exhausted and lost. Similarly, a smart life is one where arrangements serve you, not imprison you. For instance, someone with a small family and a stable job might get caught up in comparing themselves to others. They may buy a bigger house or take on more side projects to keep up with the Joneses, only to lose the balance and joy they once had. If they were clearly aware of their personal goals, they would understand that the important thing is not to chase someone else's standards, but to live true to their own values. Life becomes better when we know how to fall into the right place. This is not the result of random chance, but the outcome of awareness, analytical ability, and growth through experience. Instead of constantly chasing novelty, pause, assess the arrangements in your life, and eliminate what's unnecessary. Imagine a young entrepreneur full of ambition, having just started his own company. To achieve success, he devotes all his time and energy to work, sleepless nights, back-to-back meetings, and a phone that never stops ringing. However, the result of his relentless efforts isn't satisfaction, but a worn-out body, a drained spirit, and a growing distance from his family. One evening, after working late, he comes home to a cold, empty kitchen with no laughter and no warmth from his wife and children. The achievements at work fail to fill the emptiness inside. This realization prompts him to reflect. Why did he start this journey? It wasn't just for money, but also for the dream of creating value and meaning for both his life and his family's. Recognizing this truth, he decides to make a change. He restructures his workload, cuts down on unnecessary projects, and entrusts management tasks to a reliable team. He spends more time with his family, sharing dinners and creating joyful memories. At the same time, he refocuses on the core values of his company, product quality, and the impact it brings to customers. This shift not only revives his family life, but also breathes new energy into his work. He doesn't just rediscover the joy of living, but also deeply appreciates the value of balance. For him, success now isn't just measured by numbers, but by the profound sense of meaning in a well-rounded life. Your life is a reflection of your inner self. If your soul is unsettled, your external life will become chaotic. Conversely, if you maintain inner peace, positive things will naturally come to you. It is like sowing seeds. A calm and pleasant inner self will attract a healthy environment and good relationships. When you encounter bad days or a poor mood, the best approach is not to seek out negative people to complain to, but to look for support from positive individuals. They are not just a source of inspiration, but also a light to help you navigate through the darkness. Remember, you can begin to improve your inner self with small actions. Speaking the truth, treating others with kindness, or simply taking a few minutes each day to reflect. The journey to a better life does not require drastic changes all at once. You only need to start with the truths you understand well, no matter how small. You can commit to not lying, treat your loved ones with more kindness, or practice gratitude daily. These small steps will gradually accumulate and lead to profound changes in your life. The core message of Stoic philosophy is to guide us to live with awareness and understand that happiness does not lie in external things, but in how we perceive and organize our lives. A meaningful life is not a perfect one, but a life that is intelligently organized, simple, and harmonious, with a positive inner self. Do you ever feel insecure about not being good enough, talented enough, or successful enough? These subtle but powerful insecurities can lead you astray and erode your confidence. In the following content, we will explore how Stoic philosophy can help you overcome insecurities, eliminate harmful comparisons, and rediscover confidence from within. This is not just a lesson about avoiding insecurity, but a journey to rediscover yourself. Don't miss out. Number 2, how to avoid insecurities in life. Life is a stage of uncertainties. No matter how meticulously we plan, we remain vulnerable to the whims of fate. Insecurity creeps in, whispering fears of failure, rejection, or even death. But what if the key to overcoming insecurity is not shielding ourselves from it, but embracing its inevitability? This is the wisdom Stoicism imparts, teaching us to face life's unpredictability with courage, clarity, and purpose. To address insecurity, we must first accept the truth of life's impermanence. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Insecurity doesn't arise from external events, but from our resistance to them. For example, death is life's ultimate equalizer, a reality from which none of us can escape. However, by accepting our mortality, we unlock the freedom to live fully. Imagine life as a fleeting moment in the vast timeline of existence. Each of us is like a window briefly opened to let the light pass through before it closes again. What matters is not how long the window stays open, but the brilliance of the light it lets shine. By understanding that we entered this world empty-handed and will leave in the same way, we dispel the fear of losing what was never truly ours. With this mindset, we stop clinging to illusions of permanence and begin to cherish the beauty of the present moment. The fear of judgment and failure often fuels our insecurities. We worry about how others perceive us or whether our lives measure up to arbitrary standards. Stoicism encourages us to reframe this mindset. Instead of seeking validation from others, focus on aligning your actions with your inner values. Seeking external approval is futile. True security lies in mastering your own thoughts and emotions. This perspective liberates us to live boldly and authentically. It reminds us that life is not about avoiding pain or criticism, but about embracing both the good and bad experiences equally. Stoics do not shy away from life's challenges. They welcome them as opportunities for growth and resilience, understanding that true fulfillment comes from engaging wholeheartedly with the world. The story of an elderly couple over the age of 75 in Texas serves as a profound illustration of purposeful living despite life's inevitable losses. Their dream was to visit the Holy Land in Jerusalem. However, due to business commitments, raising children, sending them to college, their marriages, and countless other responsibilities, they never managed to make it happen. Finally, at the age of 75, they fulfilled their dream and took the journey to Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a place where every cobblestone carries the scent of history. They walked along the streets believed to have been tread by Jesus. They visited places where he was said to have walked on water, and so much more. Tragically, the wife suffered a heart attack and passed away. The husband prepared to bring her body back to Texas, but the locals approached him and said, "Look, Jerusalem is the Holy Land. This is the most fitting place to pass away. She has done the right thing, so let us perform all the ceremonies here and bury her here. The cost is only $25,000. If you take her body back to Texas, the transportation costs alone will be $18,000, not to mention the much higher expenses in the US. And above all, she chose to pass away in the Holy Land. This is where she should be buried. Let us take care of it." The husband replied, "No, I will take her back to Texas." This story serves as a reminder that the meaning of life does not lie in grand gestures or external circumstances, but in the love and commitment we share with one another. It illustrates the Stoic principle of accepting life's impermanence while seeking purpose in the connections we form and the values we uphold. By embracing this mindset, we can transform loss into a testament to the profound beauty of life. One of the most liberating truths of Stoicism is the realization that life's ultimate security lies only in death. Until that moment comes, we must let life unfold with all its chaos and unpredictability. Instead of focusing on what might go wrong, we should immerse ourselves in the present moment, as it is the only certainty we truly have. As Seneca wisely said, "Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life." Imagine a life where you no longer seek shelter from storms, but learn to dance in the rain. This is precisely what Stoicism encourages: a life of intention, resilience, and joy. When we let go of the illusion of control, we free ourselves to embrace every experience, whether it be victory, failure, or moments of peaceful stillness. To avoid insecurity, choose to live. It is a decision that demands courage but rewards you with a life rich in depth and meaning. When you stop worrying about what others think or whether you will succeed, you open your heart to the infinite possibilities of existence. Life is not a test to pass or a puzzle to solve. It is a journey to be embraced. Accept that the only constant in life is change. By embracing this truth, you can let go of the need to control the uncontrollable and instead focus on what truly matters, living with integrity, nurturing meaningful relationships, and pursuing what ignites your soul. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." As you reflect on these ideas, ask yourself, what insecurities are holding you back from fully embracing life? How might your life change if you stopped fearing failure, rejection, or loss? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your journey and insights could inspire others to fall in love with life once again. Let's create a community where we support each other in living with courage, purpose, and joy. Number 3, the art of staying motivated every day. Life is an unending journey where each day brings its own unique opportunities and challenges. However, the motivation to continue walking this path does not always appear naturally. It does not stem from ideal circumstances or perfect conditions, but rather from your own choices when facing reality. This is the core spirit of Stoic philosophy. You cannot control everything that happens, but you can control how you respond to it. When confronted with adversity, we have two choices: to become stronger or to let it defeat us. Practitioners of Stoic thinking understand that no situation is ever perfect forever. Yet, this is irrelevant, because happiness and peace do not depend on external circumstances, but on how we perceive and handle them. Take the story of Nelson Mandela, who endured 27 years of imprisonment, but did not allow resentment or hatred to dominate him. Instead, he chose to cultivate freedom in his mind, maintain his willpower, and, after being released, continue his fight for peace and justice. Mandela understood that he could not change the past, but he could control his reaction to create a different future. Many people mistakenly believe that happiness or suffering is directly caused by what others do or say. In reality, your emotions are not determined by others' actions, but by how you perceive and respond to them. Stoicism teaches that you hold the key to your own emotions. Imagine a simple situation. Someone insults you. By its nature, those words are merely a combination of sounds. But if you choose to feel hurt, it is you who transforms them into actual pain. On the contrary, if you view them as an insignificant opinion, they won't affect your mood. Practicing this is not easy, but it forms the foundation for maintaining motivation and living a life free in spirit. As the most advanced beings on Earth, humans have the capacity to think and act far beyond instinctive reactions. However, many remain trapped in negative lifestyles, constantly complaining and blaming circumstances. To unlock your true potential, you need to change your approach to life, focusing on conscious responses rather than letting emotions take control. One of the greatest barriers to staying motivated is the past, mistakes, hurts, or sad memories. But the past, like a rear-view mirror, should only be glanced at occasionally, not stared at endlessly. Parents, though they may not have been perfect, did their best to raise you. Harboring blame or resentment only traps you in a vicious cycle. Instead, learn to forgive and focus on building a better future. Remember, you cannot change what has passed, but you can fully continue writing your own story. Motivation cannot be sustained if you are surrounded by negative people or a toxic environment. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of cultivating a small circle of relationships where you can find trust and support. These companions will help you overcome challenges and encourage you when you feel discouraged. However, it is essential to note that protecting yourself does not mean shutting yourself off from the world. Some people build high walls to avoid being hurt, but those same walls also trap them in loneliness. Learn to open your heart to both risks and opportunities, for only by daring to live can you truly experience life. How do you feel about these principles of Stoicism? Is there anything that makes you reflect or want to apply immediately? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you've experienced difficult times and managed to overcome them, tell your story. It might become a powerful source of motivation for others. Life is a series of choices. How do you choose to face it? Start by loving yourself and taking control of your emotions. This will not only help you rediscover a love for life, but also unlock tremendous potential you never thought you had. How do you feel about these principles of Stoicism? Is there anything that makes you reflect or want to apply immediately? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you've experienced difficult times and managed to overcome them, tell your story. It might become a powerful source of motivation for others. Life is a series of choices. How do you choose to face it? Start by loving yourself and taking control of your emotions. This will not only help you rediscover a love for life, but also unlock tremendous potential you never thought you had. Number 4. Becoming strong. Do not let things get into you. The life of each person is like a fleeting spark in the vast expanse of the universe, quickly dissipating into nothingness. Life is so short that we cannot afford to waste time worrying about trivial matters or meaningless pressures we impose on ourselves. This is why Stoic philosophy urges us to live fully, not allowing small things to invade our minds and disturb the serenity of our souls. Imagine this. Compared to millions of years of Earth's history, human life is but a tiny speck of dust in the immense cosmos. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Seneca once said, "Time is not scarce. The issue lies in how we use it." Too often, we are consumed by unnecessary expectations and chase after values imposed by society, only to neglect what truly matters, living a happy and peaceful life. Imagine you are rowing a small boat in the midst of a rushing current. That current represents societal expectations, sweeping you in a direction not of your choosing. You row harder and put in more effort, but everything seems to only exhaust you further. The current relentlessly pushes you farther away from the shore you truly desire. Stoic philosophy offers an important piece of advice. Stop struggling against that current. Instead, you can put down the oars and find a calmer stream, a path that aligns with you. This doesn't mean giving up entirely, but rather ceasing to waste your energy chasing values that aren't your own. Ask yourself, what brings you happiness and peace? What gives your life true meaning? Instead of letting society's current dictate your direction, take control of the helm and choose your own path, even if it looks unlike anyone else's. In modern society, people often talk about motivation as a magical cure to overcome difficulties. However, Stoic philosophy views this differently. You don't need motivation to live in harmony with your natural essence. A bird doesn't need motivation to take flight, and a river doesn't need advice to keep flowing. They exist and do what they must because it is their nature. Likewise, you don't need to wait for inspiration to take action. Live as yourself, and act in alignment with your values and abilities. For example, when you feel exhausted by your current job, instead of seeking motivation from self-help books, ask yourself, is this job truly aligned with my values and life goals? If not, start making changes with small actions rather than forcing yourself into a mold. Happiness doesn't come from controlling everything, but from accepting what we cannot change. The external world always operates in its own way, independent of our desires. Instead of trying to control everything, focus on controlling how you respond to it. For example, you might be facing a challenging issue in a relationship. Instead of trying to change the other person or striving for perfection, accept that no one is perfect, including yourself. This acceptance not only soothes negative emotions, but also opens up a more positive perspective on life. Stoicism emphasizes that we don't need to force ourselves into unrealistic frameworks or expectations. Life shouldn't be a race to achieve what society deems as success, but rather a journey to discover ourselves. Once you understand your own nature and potential, you will no longer feel pressured to compete with others. Think of an ancient tree in the forest. It doesn't worry about whether it is as tall as the others. It simply lives true to its nature, rooting itself firmly, drawing nutrients from the soil, and growing to the best of its ability. We are the same. All we need to do is focus on what we can do, instead of being distracted by things beyond our control. When you live true to your natural essence, every action becomes effortless, like breathing or a heartbeat. There's no need to force yourself to do something just because others expect it from you. For example, if you love art, dedicate time to it every day. Don't wait for motivation or a perfect opportunity, as that moment might never come. Stoicism teaches us that life doesn't have to be overly complicated. You don't need inspiring lessons from self-help books or cliché advice from social media. All you need is to focus on living fully in the present moment, doing the best you can, and accepting that some things are beyond your control. What are your thoughts on the idea of not needing motivation in Stoic philosophy? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments so we can discuss them together. If you have any questions or topics you'd like to explore further, leave a message. I look forward to hearing from you. Number 5. Master the power of resilience. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to stand firm and keep moving forward, while others crumble under much less? What is the secret to their inner strength, their resilience? The answer doesn't lie in their circumstances, but in their perspective, a mindset deeply rooted in the ancient philosophy of Stoicism. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This profound insight shifts the focus from external events, which are often beyond our control, to the realm of inner thoughts and reactions, entirely within our grasp. Resilience, therefore, is not a natural gift, but a skill we can cultivate to weather life's inevitable storms and find joy in the process. At its core, resilience is the ability to adapt, endure, and grow in the face of adversity. For Stoics, life's difficulties are not curses, but opportunities to test and strengthen our character. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and renowned Stoic philosopher, saw obstacles not as barriers, but as tools for growth. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In other words, every challenge we encounter is an opportunity to practice resilience and refine our inner strength. The power of this mindset lies in transformation. When we shift our focus from lamenting over what we cannot control to mastering our own responses, we reclaim agency over our lives. This mastery, this resilience, allows us to love life once more, not because it becomes easier, but because we grow stronger. Let's take the story of Sarah. A successful entrepreneur, Sarah had spent over a decade building her dream business, pouring her heart and soul into every aspect of its growth. Then, without warning, an economic recession devastated her industry. Overnight, Sarah lost everything: her business, her income, and even her sense of identity. At first, she was shattered, overwhelmed by waves of despair and self-doubt. But instead of succumbing to bitterness, Sarah turned to the principles of Stoicism she had studied. She reminded herself of Epictetus's teaching that while she could not control the economy or others' actions, she could control her response to the situation. Instead of seeing loss as an end, Sarah reframed it as a new beginning. She took time to reflect on her values and rediscovered her passion for mentoring young entrepreneurs. Within a year, Sarah rebuilt her career, not by chasing external validation, but by aligning her actions with her inner purpose. Her resilience not only helped her recover, but also allowed her to find deeper fulfillment and joy. Stoicism offers timeless practices that help us build resilience and embrace life with renewed vitality. The dichotomy of control. At the core of Stoic philosophy is recognizing what is within our control and what is not. By focusing on what we can influence, such as our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, we conserve energy for meaningful growth rather than futile resistance. Negative visualization. Stoics practice imagining the worst-case scenarios, not to dwell in fear, but to mentally prepare for adversity. This mental rehearsal helps us face challenges with calmness and clarity. Gratitude in hardship. Even in moments of struggle, there are lessons and blessings to be found. Stoics believe in practicing daily gratitude, not only for what is pleasant, but also for what strengthens our character. Self-reflection. Journaling or meditating on the events of the day allows us to evaluate our reactions, learn from our mistakes, and continuously improve our resilience. When we master the ability to be resilient, the challenges of life no longer define us. Instead, they become stepping stones toward greater wisdom and strength. We begin to see challenges not as unjust punishments, but as essential aspects of the human experience. This perspective profoundly liberates us. It frees us from the grip of fear and resentment, allowing us to embrace life with open arms, flaws and all. Resilience also deepens our connections with ourselves and others. When we navigate difficulties with grace, we inspire those around us to do the same. Our courage and hope in the face of adversity create a ripple effect, uplifting not only our own lives, but also the lives of those we encounter. As we navigate the unpredictable tides of life, let us remember the wisdom of the Stoics. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties, but transforming them into sources of strength. By mastering this power, we learn not only to endure life's challenges, but also to grow because of them. Take a moment to ask yourself, what would happen if you stopped fearing adversity and started embracing it as an opportunity to grow? How would your life change if you could face every obstacle with the calmness and confidence of a Stoic? The answer lies within you, waiting to be unlocked through the practice of resilience. So, heed this call to action. Embrace the mindset of a Stoic, and you will discover that loving life again is not just possible, it is inevitable. We have just embarked on a journey to explore Stoicism, a philosophy that helps you view life from a more positive perspective. From learning to accept what is beyond your control to focusing on what you can change. Stoicism is a powerful tool to help you love and appreciate life once again. We hope the message of this video serves as a source of inspiration to help you overcome challenges and live each day to the fullest. Before we wrap up, we have an interesting question for you. Which of the 6 lessons inspired you the most? Share your answer in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful, share it to spread its meaningful message, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss future content. Also, hit the notification bell to stay updated whenever we release a new video. At the end of this video, you can click on the suggested links to explore more exciting topics. If you have any ideas or topics you'd like to see us cover, don't hesitate to share them in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.